Now, anybody you see doing very well in their craft is someone that has placed in so much effort. Nobody just falls from the sky and you see them performing very well. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of dedication. And this is what usually brings about success in whatever you find yourself doing. So as a student, for you to succeed very well in your academics, you need to take your time and concentrate on building yourself academically. That is the only thing you are called to do right now. You are not in business, you are not in any other phase of life.
Welcome to dacollins.tv, educational, motivational, and inspirational platform.
Hi, welcome to dacollins.tv. I hope you are doing very well. I hope this video meets you in the good states. Thank you very much for your subscription. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your remark. Thank you to those of you that have shared this video to friends and family. Our aim on this platform is to educate, is to motivate, is to inspire, and to encourage the growing generation. Last week I treated a topic titled Why Students Fail. And one of the reasons I pointed out that brings about failure in the academic system is inconsistency in teaching. And I pointed out in that video that inconsistency in teaching occurs either when the parents relocate the child from one environment to the other, or they move from one country to the other, and the child have to change the school and move into a new learning institute. I said another factor that causes inconsistency in teaching is when the school decides to change the teacher, or the teacher leaves due to one reason or the other. If you've not seen my previous video on this topic, I would like you to go to YouTube and check this out. Very interesting, and I suggested some solution on how the inconsistency in teaching can be corrected. Today I'm going to continue on why students fail, but I'm looking into another reason why students fail. Today's reason we'll talk about inconsistency in learning. Inconsistency in learning is another reason why students fail. And what brings about inconsistency in learning is as a result of when the learning process is not consistent. When you don't do something repeatedly, you tend to forget it. Something you do over time, you tend to remember it and it becomes part of you. Most students always leave learning process to end in the classroom. The moment the teacher is done with the class, the moment the bell of the school is rang, the moment the school activities have closed for the day, most student learning also have closed for that day. When they get home, they venture into other activities and they drop their studies. They don't go back to it, and this is one thing that always brings about failure among students. When the learning is not consistent, this goes a long way to affect these learners. You don't wait until it is time for examination before you go to study or before you have your revision. You should be used to your studies. It should be part of you. It should be something you do daily. That is the best way you can grow in it. Any child that leaves the learning process only for the classroom setting, only leaving the teacher to put them through, that child knowledge will also be limited in the classroom. You need to learn to build yourself individually. You need to take time to go back to whatever you have been taught, go back again to it, read on it, and take other examples on it and become better. A student that wants to grow, even in the classroom when you're not giving assignments or you're not giving homework for you to go back home to do, most students that have the urge to grow and learn better, what they do is that they go to the teacher to ask for personal assignments, or they go back home and do something on their own. Could be that they are writing some essays on their own, or they solve some questions and they bring it back to the teacher for the teacher to examine and correct them if they are wrong or right. These are students that takes extra measures to make sure that they improve themselves. Learning is called inconsistent when it ends only in the classroom. You can't rely on the knowledge of your teacher alone. Your teacher may not be able to give you everything about that topic in the classroom, either due to time constraints or due to the fact that we are all limited in what we know. Nobody is an epitome of knowledge. So people give you only what they have. You cannot give what you don't have. So for you to grow yourself and become better, sometimes you need to go the extra mile of studying on your own and building yourself to become better. Every great person you see today have been able to put in some efforts to grow themselves individually. It's not only based on what they learned from somewhere, they also made some conscious efforts to grow to the level you are seeing them today. So for you to become better in your academics and for you to succeed and pass successfully in examination, you don't have to wait only when it is time for exam before you start reading. You need to read weeks and months before the examination. This is the only way that the knowledge can become stuck in you. This is the only way you can be able to recall and retain whatever you have been taught. But when you wait for a week or 2 days to the exam before you start reading, you will forget a lot of things that have been taught. So a good student that wants to excel in examination does not end the reading only in the classroom, but continues at home and continues even among their peers. I'm going to give us a scripture to guide us on this. We'll be reading from Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, and it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." So the scripture says in Joshua chapter 1 verse 8 that this book of the law should not depart from the mouth, but thou should meditate on it day and night. What it simply means is that whatever you're studying, whatever you want to become, is only when you make it part of you that it will not depart from you. So when you put that reading in your mouth, when you put that studying in your mouth day and night, it becomes part and parcel of you. And even when you're thinking, you're sleeping, or you're just meditating on anything, it comes into your mind over and over again. And this is the only way that whatever you have been able to read or learn can be retained in your memory. But when you don't put it into practice, when you don't spend your time repeating that thing that you have been taught or what you have learned, it will go off you as time goes by. Now, I will say something about students doing better than you. If you check any child that is doing better than you or doing better than your child that you know, that child must have been spending time studying day and night. It's not the kind of child that you see that ends reading only in the classroom. When you leave your reading only for the classroom setting, you limit yourself only what you can gain in the classroom. But when you go after the classroom to build yourself, learn more, add more to the knowledge you've gained, that is when you can do exceedingly abundantly than you can even imagine or think of. So learning by yourself and improving yourself is another attribute that help you grow and become better as a learner. I'm going to share some experience with you that I had many years ago, because most times some story help people to follow up better and understand certain things that they must have forgotten. Now, there was a reality TV show many years ago that was in vogue. Everybody wanted to be part of it. It was interesting. It was the Iranian program on TV. So it was titled Gulder Ultimate Search. Now, the Gulder Ultimate Search was one of the most interesting programs many years ago. And the program featured young people who will be placed in a certain jungle, who will be placed in an isolated place, and they'll be asked to give in some tasks, and they will also be asked to find an hidden treasure. For you to be part of the reality TV show, you need to first of all go through some screening process. Now, the first stage was for you to apply online. When you register online, then you go to the screening center, then you go through the stages. Now, one of the screening process is to group people the way they are entering the stadium. Now, from the point of entering, you'll be asked to sit in a particular place until your number gets to about 50. So we are being grouped in 50s because it's those 50-50 that will be running the stadium. Then out of the 50 people, they're going to pick the first 10. So I was among this set of 50, and we're asked to go around the stadium twice. Now, I was able to do very well, and I come among the first 10 that was selected because I was good in running. And take note, that was not the first day I started running, or that was not the first day I decided to run. Running has always been my hobby right from days in the early college, secondary school, primary, and that was my most interesting exercise. My most interesting exercise is jogging and keeping fit and running. So when it was time for me to run the stadium, I did not see anything difficult about it, or I didn't see it as a challenge. This is because this is what I spent my time doing. I've been doing it even before the competition. So when it was time for me to do it, it was like there was nothing new about it. It's like it's something that was already been part of me. So I just found myself doing it with ease. So I ran the stadium twice, and I was qualified among the first 10. Now, among the first 10, we're given the second stage of the screening, which is we're going to run the 200 meters, the 10 of us, and the first 5 people to get to the end of the 200 meters and pick a ball at the end of the 200 meters, those are the 5 people that will be qualified to the next stage. Now, I was also confident about myself because I know, yes, I can run, I'm fit, I like to run. Now, we carried out the exercise, and luckily for me also, I was among the 5 people that ended up picking a ball at the end of the 200 meters. Now, we're asked to come a few days after for the next stage of screening. Now, the next stage of screening was taking place in a different location, and it was a different screening entirely. It was no longer running on the field. Now it involves swimming. Now, I'm not good at swimming. Swimming is not something I've been doing. It's not part of me. I'm not used to it. So this is not a challenge to me. because when it was time to run, wow, it was my strength. I could do that very well. But when it was time for us to go for the swimming exercise, I just knew that something different has occurred. I just knew this is going to be a great challenge to me. So what did I do? I said, let me try and see if I can meet up in 2 days, which were asked to get back to a particular venue for the swimming exercise. So I contacted some friends and I asked them, man, I don't really know how to swim. How can I go about it? And they said, just give it a try. Go to the pool. You could just learn, depending on your ability and the strength you have to cope so quick. Just go to the pool and try. If you are very good, you can just grab and you'll be able to swim and move on water. After all, they're not looking for experts in swimming. Those that are experts in swimming, they're just looking for people that can move on the water. So wow, I was convinced and I was encouraged to go and learn swimming in 2 days. Now I went to the pool and I registered and I told them I want to swim. I got to the pool, I saw a lot of young guys in the pool who were already swimming, and I asked them if I could join them in the pool, and they said yes, really, just jump in. So I just dived into the pool. I never knew where I dived into was the deep section of the pool, and if not for the fact that there were people there, divers that came to my rescue, I would have drowned that day, all because I wanted to swim in 2 days. Now, what I'm trying to say in essence of this story is that there are certain things you can do when it's your strength, only when you are building yourself on it daily. What you don't practice regularly cannot become part of you. Whatever it is that you're not doing daily cannot become part of you, and you will never be good at it. Any child you see is succeeding academically is studying daily. Now, anybody you see doing very well in their craft is someone that has placed in so much effort. Nobody just falls from the sky and you see them performing very well. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of dedication. And this is what usually brings about success in whatever you find yourself doing. So as a student, for you to succeed very well in your academics, you need to take your time and concentrate on building yourself academically. That is the only thing you are called to do right now. You are not in business, you are not in any other phase of life. This is what you're doing. You are sent to school to go there and learn and study and become the best. So for you to grow on that field, you need to put in more of your time. You need to spend more time studying. You need to establish more strength in it. You need to put your heart to it. This is the only way you can grow and become better as a student. Every great man you see today, they did not just wake up and find themselves doing greatly. They invested their time and energy. Those are the two things that you can put into your craft, put into your whatever you love to do, and you can become the best at it. It's not just a thing of, I wish I want to become intelligent, I wish I want to be great, I wish to be like this person or that person. Those people you wish to be like, they've invested their time, energy, effort to get to the level they are today. It's not by sleeping or doing things at their own time. I've been able to identify the problems that bring about inconsistency in learning. Now I want to talk about the solution to inconsistency in learning. When the child is having this challenge of learning difficulty, what do we do? How can we help you to get out of it? Solution number one, for you to get out of inconsistency in learning, you need to apply the scripture Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, which says that this book of the law should not depart from the mouth, but you should meditate on it day and night. So the rule number one, solution number one, dealing with inconsistency in learning is for you to study regularly. You must make studying a lifestyle. You must make reading a lifestyle. You must make studying part of you. It's not something you just want to do because you want to do it, but it must become something you want to do because you have a target. That is solution number one. Solution number two, you must have a reading timetable, a study timetable. There's no way you can go about it. If you don't plan, it means you plan to fail. The study timetable helps you to plan your time, helps you to plan your activities, and helps you to plan everything you need to know about reading and learning. So when you have this written down, you can paste it in different part of the room. Put your reading timetable in your door, put it in the bedroom, put it anywhere that they can remind you that at this period of time, you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that. It's only when you have a study reading timetable, that is when you'll be able to cope with the challenge of inconsistency in learning. The third solution to this is for you to start from known to unknown. Most students feel discouraged the moment they raise their book because the topic is difficult or whatever they're trying to read is difficult for them to comprehend. So this becomes a challenge and they feel so discouraged so early because they are starting from a difficult state of reading. The best tactics to go, the solution is start from known to unknown. Start from simple to complex. Do not just start with the difficult section of your reading materials. Start from what you know so you develop interest gradually before you move into something you don't know. Reading is by step. You don't just jump into what you don't know. When you jump so quick into what you don't know, you will drown. You'll get discouraged and you get worked out on time. So these are the 3 solutions I'm going to suggest on this video. Next week, we're going to continue with this same topic, inconsistency in learning. And I'll be looking into other factors that I'm unable to identify today due to time constraints. And I'll also be providing more solutions on how to deal with inconsistency in learning. Thereafter, I'll be looking into other topics that also affect students' learning. Thank you very much for all your comments, and remember, the purpose of this platform is to educate, is to motivate, is to inspire, and to encourage the growing generation. All I discuss on this platform is strictly education and learning how to grow the learners. If you are joining us for the first time, I want you to hit the subscribe button, and I want you to share this video to friends and family so that I come again your way same time next week. Thank you very much.